Right, okay, welcome to another video. This one I'm taking a look at, I think it's either 11 or possibly even 12 games for the C64 which were never actually released. Now this might have been because they were released fairly recently and they were just, or you know, they weren't, sorry, not released, they weren't actually published. So some of these games may have just been freeware or whatever, you know, because there's been quite a few games that have come out in the last couple of years, or it might have just been a game that was started on by a software company and for whatever reason they decided not to kind of see it to completion, or else it might have just been somebody tinkering in their bedroom and they've knocked up a kind of couple of levels of a game and then never actually got it finished. So anyway, like, none of the games you're going to see in this video, I don't actually know when they were sort of made, because the year in my game base thing just has a little question mark. This first one, Bad, based on the Michael Jackson tune, I'm guessing, or possibly not. Yeah, it looks like it could have been a really nice horizontal shooter, kind of like Uridium. I like the backgrounds. You can see there the sprite detection or the sprite collision has never been enabled. There's nothing to actually shoot. You can fire, but it doesn't actually do anything. But it has got a nice little SID tune, so yeah, that would have been quite an interesting game had it been completed. Right, this next one, Battle. Now, when I saw the screenshot for this, I immediately thought of something like Lemmings, not Lemmings, Populous. It's hard to say your first command. It kind of looks like it's going to be a sort of a, you know, what do you call it? Where you have to collect wood and build stuff. Oh, what happened there? Where did all these people go? Now, it's obviously a very, very early beta because, well, for starters, none of the people are actually moving apart from your little guy, which I have to say, I quite like the animation. That's quite impressive looking. Yeah, you can, it doesn't appear you can actually move off the screen. So it's just, this is it. This is the single screen you're going to get. Georgie Sheila Nogai, was that Neil? I think it is. Attila Sarah select order. So yeah, it's sort of a kind of like a real-time RPG. Is that? I don't know what they are. Are they sheep, wolves, dogs? Who knows? Cows, possibly? We shall never know. Anyway, an interesting little preview. That's Battle. Right, this one. It looks like the guy is carrying a shopping bag. Now, is that like bottles of wine you've got to pick up? Ah, Netto. Now, wait a wee minute. If you're from the UK, Netto, I believe, is a grocery chain in the UK. I don't know if it's a grocery chain elsewhere. So, is this like some kind of shopping simulation? You've got to shopping in Egypt, going for your messages in Egypt. Obviously, no sound, no music at all. Nah, you can actually jump on top of the Netto sign. Does look like quite an early preview. I don't know what these kind of flashing lines at the side are. I don't know what that score thing at the top is. The kind of green box that says 19 or something. So, but the only thing you can do in this game, it would appear, is pick up these little diamonds. Obviously, being influenced by Super Mario Land and what do you call it? Great Gianna Sisters. That game, what is mega expensive to buy nowadays? I think it goes for something like £200. Quite insane for a video game. So how do we pronounce this? Bodiga Enjar. Ejnar. Bodiga Ejnar. So again, it's hard to say how much this game has actually been completed. Obviously, there's a lot of work still to be done, but an interesting little game nevertheless. Now, right away, I recognise that tune. That is Jeroen Tel, and that is Cybernoid. Now, I think this is Panther UK's favourite Sid tune. It's a tune to his channel, but I've got to say it is a awesome track. So I'm guessing that this, I mean, how do we pronounce this? Cyberide, yeah. Cyberide. Yeah, they've plagiarised Jeroen Tel's tune, so I'm assuming this was never actually an official game. And it appears this is the only screen. Even the ship looks like it's been ripped straight from Cybernoid. Graphically wise, they've kind of gone for a more sort of realistic Art Nouveau style, like a sort of painting rather than out and out kind of arcade look. I'm not really keen in these kind of graphics. I prefer my games to look like games. I want them to look like arcade games. I don't want them to look like paintings. So yeah, it's hard to tell what this would have turned into because it's a single screen. Right, Cyborg. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of these is it Spellbound and Nighttime, these Mastertronic little adventure type games where you've got to collect stuff. Ah, right, I've just picked up what looks like kind of part of a jigsaw. You'll see it's appeared at the top right hand side. Again, no sound to speak of. I don't know what these are. These like beds and nails or toothbrush heads possibly. Alright, you can fire though. I noticed the ammo doesn't appear to be going down. It's quite intriguing actually to see just how many games were never actually released for the C64. And you know what I find even more quite incredible is that all these games, you know, that were never released, that were maybe only single screens. How on earth did the GameBase project actually manage to get hold of all these? They must obviously rely on people handing over any code that they never finished. And it's great because it's an absolute quintessential kind of archive of everything Commodore 64. If you've not got GameBase C64, then just do a wee Google on it. It's easy to find. You can download a torrent. It's awesome. It really, really is. So yeah, I'm not overly keen in the graphics. If I'm being 100% honest, kind of purpley. Again, it's like kind of painting. Not too keen in it. But anyway, that was Cybernoid. Right, this one, it's not something you do in the toilet. This is the video game version of it. It's called Dump. It's got a wee Sid tune getting played there. I'm assuming it was going to be some kind of shoot 'em up. You can't fire, there's no fire activated. You can see there the sprite collision doesn't appear to be switched on. It has got a sort of rather nifty little Sid tune again. Possibly just been nicked from from the high voltage collection. So yeah, not a whole lot to go on. Again, might be interesting to see what it was like. Now this one does interest me. This is Dungeon Master. Now sadly again, there doesn't appear to be an awful lot of code actually in it, but I've got to say what they've actually done is really nice. Now is this some sort of, why have they gone for a monochromatic look? Is that because they're utilising a sort of a higher resolution? Some of you clever kids might be able to tell me. You know, there's obviously there's no colour other than black and white, though apparently white and black are not technically colours. Who knew? Saying that, we have got some greys. Now, it only appears I can move straight ahead. I can't seem to move left or right or back. And the wee map button doesn't appear to do anything either. Just try clicking everywhere. Oh, hang on. Oh, how come that's sort of moving? That's weird. I didn't even do anything there. Yeah, so you can move forwards, but you can't appear to move sideways. Oh, what happened there? Ah, there we go. Status screen. So yeah, you can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to basically replicate Dungeon Master, though I think they've used different kind of graphics. But you know, as a kind of a sort of technical demo, it just goes to show that you know they could have you know, it would probably been saying that it'd probably been a multi-load game, so maybe it might have not worked unless you had it, you know, either on cartridge or disc. The controls seem to be slightly confusing. It seems to kind of, I don't know. Here again, it is a kind of beta game. So yeah, you can only move. I don't know why it's gone completely black. Oh, hang on. You know what? I'm actually wondering whether it's kind of like a rolling demo where I'm not actually. Well, then again, when I press forwards, it did move forwards. Ah, a map. There you go. It seems to kind of disappear. I don't know what that thing is. Interesting. Yeah, if anyone else knows any more about this game, let me know. That's Dungeon Master. This one needs no introduction. I don't even know why I've bothered putting the title down below. Yep, Empire Strikes Back. This does look rather tasty, I have to say. The SID tune, according to the credits, this is a Rob Hubbard tune. Does anybody know what this tune is? Let me start. There we go. Ah. Right, now, if you're thinking, wait a minute, they have plagiarised Jeff Minter's Attack of the Mutant Camels, then stop right there before you go any further. Jeff Minter plagiarised Empire Strikes Back from the Atari 2600. There was an official game released by Parker Games, and it was based on the second Star Wars film, the not shite one. I don't actually mind. I like the first 3 Star Wars, and then after that they were just god awful. But yeah, this looks like it could have been a nice game. I like the movement of the ship. The scrolling's not bad. I like the parallax scrolling. There's quite a few levels, about 3 or 4 different levels. I like the sort of graduation in the background. The graphics are excellent. Just a shame the AT-ATs themselves are not actually walking. So again, this is a hallmarks of a game that was actually getting released by a company and then it was pulled at the last minute. So yeah, Empire Strikes Back. This one is The Living Dead, the preview. Now, you play the part of a skeleton bloke. Now, you know what that sprite reminds me of? I'm sure there's a walking skeleton in, I think it's Cauldron 2. That's what that sprite reminds me of. So you've got a score, you've got these little like shuriken, you've got lives. Well, can you technically be called, can it be a life if you're actually dead? Movement of the wee skeleton dude is actually not too bad. doesn't appear to be a whole lot else happening. Have I reached the end of the graphics? Ah. Yeah, backgrounds are really nice. I'm trying to figure out, are you actually a skeleton or a zombie of some sort? Either that or you've just really not been eating properly. It looks to me like it's like Scooby-Doo graphics. You're just going to get, or Scooby-Doo background, it's the same background. It just basically keeps going round and round and round. Interesting looking game. Yeah, that's a Living Dead. And this one looks interesting. This is called Outrun Deluxe. Now what I'm trying to actually I'm trying to think out loud here actually. It looks and plays completely differently from the original Outrun that was released. This looks more like there's an F1 game that was released by Codemasters, and it also looks and plays a bit more like Pit Stop 2, or even the original Pit Stop. Actually, I think had they gone for graphics like this, I think it would have been, that was the way forwards. I think this would be a better Outrun than the Outrun that was actually released for the C64. However, saying that, I actually don't think Outrun was as bad on the home computers as I remember them to be. Maybe because I'm not actually paying any money for them. But I don't think they were as bad. I mean, it was always going to be an impossible task sticking a, you know, a multi-processor arcade machine behemoth thing onto a machine that's got like 48K. So yeah, this is, I'm assuming this was never like an official thing. It looks like some kind of fan-made thing. Just a shame it was never actually finished. Right, this one, sadly, I couldn't actually, I went back to look for the game and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I don't actually know what the name of this is. It does say Raspberry Ripple, spelt wrong, but anyway. I don't know if that's the name of the game, not sure. It does look nice, you know what, I like, look at the wee explosions when you hit things. So you are able to, it is semi-playable. Am I getting, yeah, I'm even getting some points here. Right, now is that graphical corruption? Ah, bollocks. I don't know whether that's graphical corruption or whether that's designed to look like kind of rubble or something. I'm really not quite sure. Nice Sid tune. Now is that, there's like four bottles at the bottom. I don't know what they are. Lives, right, lives, something. Again, if anybody can identify this game and give me a wee bit of background behind it, I would be most appreciated. That looks a bit messy. I'm assuming that that's just unfinished graphics rather than yeah, because that does look a bit messy. Still, you never know. Maybe that's it. Maybe it was designed like that. Quite a slow pace shoot 'em up though, which is not a bad thing. Again, if anybody knows the Sid tune, let me know. Yeah, interesting little game that. And the last one for this video, again, I have no idea what it's called. In fact, it actually comes up as name unknown. An interesting, I was going to say like a take on Moon Buggy. I've never ever seen a game like this in my life where you've got like 3 viewpoints of the car. I'm not quite sure what the point of that is. Is it more like a kind of technical demo thing? I don't know. Kind of reminds me like sort of a clone of Loco or Suicide Express or Black Thunder, which are basically all the same game by Tony Crowther. But yeah, an interesting one. So, anyway, listen, guys, that is it. I have got literally hundreds of these games which have never been released, and I think it's quite interesting seeing just putting them out there for people to see. So, as always, guys, thank you very, very much for watching.